Gina Carano has been on quite a tear lately. She's been on quite a tweet brigade, breaking her silence on her feelings about Disney and other things. She's just been uh I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying the Gina Carano tweets of late. Let me bring a couple up because I don't know if these are even in order. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, this is it. This is one. Let me share it with you. I just watched the latest South Park special, Into the Pandaverse. Have you guys seen it? It's very funny. They really go hard on Kathleen Kennedy. It's almost like these people have been watching like
Years ago.
or a Yellow Flash or Geeks and Gamers. It's really kind of amazing. Um, so Gina Carano tweets out couple days ago. This is the part where Kathleen Kennedy demands any YouTubers get censored off of YouTube for sharing and laughing at this hilarious episode. She'll have YouTube disable the thumbs down option because of the ratio she'll receive. And then she'll have her publicist Ghouls make sure Variety and Hollywood Reporter run pieces about the South Park creators and their families, smearing their names through every useful idiot she has under her thumb who would sell their soul to work for Lucasfilm. She'll activate her online mob to repeat that the South Park creators are racist, bigot, transphobes, and demand the South Park creators publicly apologize by only using words she approves of. And finally, she'll demand they subject themselves to a re education course of 45 people in the LGBTQ community Zoom call to sit there and listen of how badly they got their feelings hurt all over a little boop of a South Park episode. But maybe, just maybe, the jig is up. You know, the first time I read this, I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah." I think a lot of us were thinking the same thing. But now that I read this the second time, it seems pretty obvious that this hey, and this is just a theory. I don't know. I'm sure she can't really talk about exactly what went down and how with Disney when she lost her gig on The Mandalorian. But to me, this looks like exactly what they would have wanted from her. She would be in the best position to know what kind of demands Disney makes on a person who commits the crime of, wrong think and wrong speak. So, when you look at just how much goes into, attacking someone, an actor who has the wrong opinions, just like Gina did, the hit pieces, all the people that work for her, all the people who want to help her out, the useful idiots, the online mob, the re-education course, it's like, if they were expecting Gina to do all this, holy shit. Of course she didn't apologize. She did nothing wrong. There was nothing for Gina to apologize for in the first place. But this is just a fire tweet from Gina Carano, and it'll be interesting to see if Disney or Kathleen Kennedy makes any kind of response to this South Park special. How could you not? How could she not have seen this? How could not everyone at Disney have seen this by now? Or at least seen the clips. The clips are unavoidable, they're everywhere. Star Wars Theory with a salute. Aw, milady. Damn it, I freaking love you, Gina from D-Day Cobra. Nerdy Home. Disney has made their bed and deserve every single bit of criticism that's thrown their way. Austin Peterson. Damn, Gina, you're even more fierce outside the ring than you were in. Krista Nova says, "Go woke, go broke. People are finally waking up, and we will all have the last laugh." I stand with Gina Carano. Nina Infinity with a mic drop from Token. A yes from Yellow Flash. Drunk 3PO with a fatality. Jiff. Jiff. It's Jiff. Eric K. Redhead Libertarian. Minnie Robinson. I feel like once they tried to make Snow White and the Seven Dwarves without someone who was Snow White and without any dwarves, they were dead in the water. I hope she knows how to flip burgers. I'm sure Kathleen Kennedy, if she does lose her position, she'll just be promoted upwards and just still working for Disney, but out of the limelight, out of her current position. Wowie, though. I didn't really know what GIF to put. I just really liked this one of Chris Christie. barely fitting into his pants. I love that Mike Pence dropped out of the race before Chris Christie because he is much funnier. He's fun to talk about on stage. So, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Big props to Gina. Balls of steel. I enjoy the hot takes. And she had another one recently. So, this one I want to give a little bit of a backstory on. This is from Around the Galaxy, which I had never heard of. He is at ATG Cast. He is the number one Star Wars talk show, FeedSpot Top 5 Film Interview Podcast, Wikipedia. Okay, so he looks like a Disney simp to me. He just looks like someone who has the right opinions and probably wouldn't really criticize Disney much. So he takes Gina's tweet that I just said and screenshots and says, "In case you were wondering, Gina Carano has lost her goddamn mind." Woo! Really lost her mind on something she's lived through? Like, she actually she's one of the few people in a position to talk about what goes on inside Disney and, uh, what the consequences are for wrong speak. So Gina responds to this guy, and this is a doozy. "Do you always call a woman crazy just because she has more firsthand experience than you and says something you don't like or understand? Bit misogynistic, don't you think? Tisk tisk. Curious if your overlords pay you, or do y'all just go ahead and shove your whole head straight up their ass for free?" I'm guessing for free. Might want to come out for some fresh air. For some added context, not just for you, but for the people reading. One of the things your overlords asked me to do was to unfollow certain accounts because they said bad things about Kathleen Kennedy, which confirms exactly what I just said. That was a huge red flag for me. Wow. I would love to be a fly on the wall and find out what exact accounts they wanted her to unfollow. If I were the head of one of the most powerful entertainment companies in the world, I would know that haters come with the territory and that maybe the haters are expressing their thoughts because they actually care. And caring is a good thing because as long as they care, well, hey, we still have something to work with. Maybe we can win their hearts back eventually. And maybe they do have some good things to add to the conversation, which they do and did. And at the very least, they are still buying the product. Look at Mando season 1. Boom, the healing had begun. People were so excited for The Mandalorian season 1. I still have my Gina Carano action figure back there. I still have multiple baby Yodas. If you are a proper good leader, you learn how to embrace and communicate, not dictate and silence and demand your actors and directors unfollow and shame more than half of your fan base and the people who have stuck with the franchise for decades. Side note, don't say the force is female and then only allow the men to express their political views online. In fact, just drop the ridiculous phrase completely. One of the problems your overlords are having now is that they've made a lot of people completely stop caring about one of the most beloved franchises in history, all by bullying, pushing aggressive agendas, and trying to silence the people criticizing them. This is all true. How are they able to tell stories they don't understand when the ones they identify with are the empire? They are literally trying to squash the little guys, the rebellion. No wonder the storytelling is struggling. Right. It's almost like art imitate art imitating life because remember Occupy Wall Street, remember when people were fighting against like the machine and corporatism and corporate greed, and now the woke, the left, and corporations seems to have merged together because they have. They fired and dehumanized people like me who did absolutely nothing wrong, all to virtue signal to people like you, the yes men. But yes men, unfortunately for you and them, do not drive culture. Maybe they were banking on the kids picking up the slack, but one of the best things about this franchise is passing it from generation to share. The competition is too high to throw out something as valuable as that. Why would one generation pass it on when you've disrespected and thrown them away? Your overlords tried to hide behind the two opposing fan bases fighting each other instead of taking responsibility, which is what the South Park special perfectly shows. So they encourage the hate, all while virtue signaling that they are standing up for minorities, but instead using them as a shield and a weapon. Funny enough, just how our government works. Yeah, there's a lot of crossover between our government, the arts, culture, society, all that. They think people will forget, and yes, maybe they will, but for this moment, they have heard the people's voice and it shook them. They're choosing to stick with their weak leadership who couldn't handle YouTubers saying mean things online when all it would have taken is a true leader to step in, take the reins, take some responsibility, stop discriminating, apologize about the things that have been done wrong, step completely out of politics, and be truly inclusive, and they would be back in business. Until then, they're stuck with you, the yes men, and their plummeting stock. I feel like every single paragraph of this tweet is a mic drop. I'm not saying I'm right on all fronts, but I'm open hearted and refuse to discriminate based off of powerful people telling me how to think and act. And if there was something I needed to apologize for, I would have in a heartbeat. But I didn't say or do anything wrong. And I love that she is still firm in this, that they didn't bully her and get her to apologize something she didn't truly believe she did wrong, which I think happens a lot in Hollywood. You're just like, they get you scared and anxious and nervous, and that your representation will drop you, and you end up apologizing for things you didn't mean or didn't intend just to save face and keep your job. It's a lot of people have no scruples and integrity. Gina Carano is one of the few people who has integrity in this business. People come up to me daily to shake my hand and thank me for taking a stand, even people who think differently. One thing is true: good leadership makes for a better world, leading to healthier and happier people and better opportunity. Look around. We are watching the devastating effects of what bad leadership can do worldwide. Whew. Go, Gina, go. And then Drunk 3PO adds, Pete attacks anyone and everyone who doesn't agree with him. The Star Wars YouTubers whom he thinks are his friends laugh at him behind his back. It's pathetic he does this to try and gain traction for a failed podcast. He also has a small peepee, and he's proud about it. Maybe I should have just booped him. That was a novel. Felt good though. Sunday therapy. Okay, moving on. No, good for you, Gina. I feel like you said relatively little about this whole thing, and she was fired, what, 2 years ago? How long ago was that? It's been a 2?
You said two.
It's just been a while, and we haven't heard much from her on this. To be honest, your boops get you in more trouble. I enjoy the boops. Yeah, Gina, you've held back for so long. I'm glad you're opening up and letting it all hang out. Love to see it. We do. Gina speaking facts. More salutes. Years ago, I made this freak apologize for directly targeting women that were associated with geeks and gamers. He sent private apologies only to start going after them all over again a few weeks later. Never trust a male feminist. Never. Oh, is that what this guy is? Ugh. Power K. Greg, your overlords tried to hide behind the two opposing fan bases fighting each other instead of taking responsibility, so they encourage the hate, all while virtue signaling that they are standing up for minorities, but instead using them as a shield and a weapon. This right here, to a T, coffin meat nail. I love you, Gina. A lot of support. A lot of support for Ms. Carano. Gina was the best thing about Star Wars. I agree. Thanks for the amazing words from X Ray Girl. Cord Black Garrett says, testify. Dan Bass says, this weirdo has his rectum still in flames for what South Park did to him and his kind. That cope is the dying cry of a failed cultural movement that just realized it became the butt of the joke. Very well said, Dan Vask. Yeah, like you guys are starting to not be the cool kids anymore. You're beginning to feel like you're not on the inside of everything. We love you, Gina. Sure, the force is female, but only if you are the right kind of female. Exactly. Gay Republican. Oh, I've met him. Said Gina Carano is absolutely right. I remember a time when I was incredibly excited about new Star Wars content. I remember a time when I watched every Marvel movie in theaters and watched every Mandalorian episode the day it came out. Cara Dune was an instant favorite. Those days have long since passed when Disney fired Gina Carano for asking us to learn from history and love our neighbors, even those of differing political views. I cut out all Disney cold turkey. Since they wrongfully fired Gina, I have only seen one Disney movie in theaters. I used to see all of them. They didn't just fire her, they sent a message of exactly where they stand as a company. If they would fire Gina for her views, then they would certainly fire me if I was an employee of theirs. That begs the question, why would I give my money to a company that hates my values so much they would fire me? I value freedom, self expression, love, and small town American values. Disney has made it clear again and again that those are not their values. They are about freedom to agree with them, expressing yourself, so long as your expression is repeating their expression. Love, but not for us dirty Republicans. They definitely don't value the small town Americans whose money built their company. Now they scratch their heads as their stock falls. They ask themselves why their new movies crash and burn at the box office. They wonder why they are bleeding Disney Plus subscribers. They can't grasp why park attendance is down. The answer to all these questions is the same. Disney got involved in politics and chose the wrong side. They sided against parents in their feud with Florida. They sided against small town values by firing Gina. They insert inappropriate themes into kids' movies, and that's putting it lightly. If you dare to complain about any of this, you are just a right wing troll and they delight in your rage. What they didn't realize is the customers they were dating are small in number, and the customers they were alienating are great in number. We used to love Disney. Now we have checked out. I'm not mad if they ruined Star Wars because I no longer care. I'm not mad if they ruined Marvel because I no longer care. I used to be a huge Disney fan that forked over God only knows how much money. Now they get nothing from me. It isn't enough for Disney to quote quiet the noise on the culture war. They need to apologize to Gina and to their center and right-leaning customers and fix all of this stuff they broke. In the meantime, Disney can enjoy going broke. Wow, really, really well said from the gay Republican. Woohoo! Interesting times. Interesting times. It only took how many failures? How many fumbles for them to start waking up and smelling the coffee? Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.